What is going on? What's up, Hipster Nation? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your boy Ray. And if you want to find my platforms right there, Brandon underscore Ray 80 or Brandon Ray 80 or Instagram under Ray's Moto Life. Okay, we're entering day 11 of the war. We're going to go over some of that stuff. We're going to show you some updates from Pete Hegseth, Secretary of War, from Trump. Okay, let's get this out of the way. If you want to support the channel, there you go. It's going across the screen, guys, right there if you would like to support the channel. Also, I am in, let's see, there is a something I'm missing here. Okay, there it is. So there you go. If you want to support the channel, there's the platforms I'm on. Also, we're going to get into some of this conversation. I know I've been absent for a few days. I've had some medical stuff going on. I've got a couple of doctor's appointments this week. Nothing major, just some checkups and some, blood work, stuff like that. Typical regular stuff with me. So, like I said, we're going to get into the Iranian, war, battle, whatever you want to call it, takeover, whatever. So, from my understanding, there is reports. Now, it's not completely confirmed. We're going to look into it and see if it is confirmed, if we can find it. So, from my understanding, the supreme leader's son, they named him the new supreme leader, one of his sons, but they said he's in hiding. And then one group says he's deceased. We don't know that. We just don't know. We're going to check it out and see. But we're going to get into some of the remarks. We got a new video that's come out from the White House we're going to show. I think it's pretty neat. So, how are you guys doing? How your week is going? I know it's just Tuesday. I hope you had a good weekend and everything. I hope everybody's blessed. I really do hope you guys are doing good out there. We're going to jump into some of this right here, and we're going to look at this. This is a new video coming out from the White House. We're going to check it out and see. This is
sometimes in history. There's this magic moment. Somebody appears on the scene and everything changes.
I am with you.
We've never seen anything like this.
I will fight for you.
This was a man who's met his destiny.
I will win for you.
He said he was saved by God in order to make America great again.
His victory was the greatest comeback.
What's up, Robbie? Brown Chicken, how's it going?
Buckle up.
We may not be able to play the music wise, so this is a new video.
So much when it comes to the border and energy and major investments from other countries. It's like warp speed.
47's on a hot streak, bringing head-snapping change to Washington, overwhelming the system with a volcanic eruption of action. Trump has a mandate from the people, and he's using it, and they're just getting started.
President Trump said on the campaign trail, success will be my retribution.
Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign,
liberals,
independent nation that will always be free. We're going to have one shot at this, and no other president's going to do what I'm doing.
America's back, common sense is back. He is keeping his promise to you, the American people.
Inflation is down, growth is up.
The numbers don't lie. The economy is soaring.
Lowest gas prices in 4 years.
And record tariff revenue.
The USA is on a roll, culminating in the signing of the One Big Beautiful Bill on July 4th.
The Trump economic golden age is full steam ahead. America is back, thanks to the courage of President Trump, thanks to the leadership of his amazing cabinet, and thanks, of course, to our brave men and women in the United States military.
This is a message to the rest of the world. The days of ripping off America and Americans are officially over.
Between the attacks on Iran's nuke site and the Maduro operation, the U.S. military recruitment at an all-time high.
This president
controversial, yeah.
History as a peacemaking president.
Peace through strength. America's in charge.
And he's
Correct.
just got one filter, and that is America first.
Whatever they're doing, it's working. Zero illegal crossing, drug cartels frustrated, less crime.
We have the most secure border in the history of this nation. If you think we're doing good now, you just wait till this coming year.
The president isn't taking his foot off the gas in 2026.
It's a new year. The stock markets are already making new record highs.
The Trump archive are a series of near impossible feats.
As for the next year, the American people have so much to look forward to. The president will continue to build off of his historic accomplishments.
2025 is setting the table that the banquet's going to be in 2026.
Exactly.
This is the golden age coming.
He says, make America great again because every American is invited.
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future because the golden age of America has only just begun.
Well, good, because I want some gold. I want my golden age. Where's my money at? Okay, I can't play the music. They'll hit me for that. It is a great video, though. They're just playing the music out. So that is a pretty place, isn't it? That's the people's house. But how come we can't go there? I mean, I'm just asking questions. Pretty neat, though, man. I tell you, it's amazing to me how pretty that place really is. And we got some, like I said, we're going to get into this a little bit.
Of technical skill and military.
Okay, yes, Pete Hegseth, we have some updates from him. Also, we're going to listen in and see if we can find what he's actually saying about what's going on. I don't know. You know as well as I do, they don't tell us the whole truth or even half the truth. So we have to actually just go what they say. Because if you go on what any media says, legacy media, then you would believe a goat out in the yard, So
as President Trump declared yesterday, we're crushing the enemy in an overwhelming display of technical skill and military force. We will not relent until the enemy is totally and decisively defeated.
Good.
But we do so on our timeline and at our choosing.
Exactly.
For example, today will be yet again.
I can't stand that because the media always, well, how long? How many days are you going to be there? Are you going to be there, 5 weeks, a month? Or are you going to, they always want to know. Why would you tell your enemy anything you're going to do? I mean, truthfully.
Our most intense day of strikes
they're ridiculous.
Iran. The most fighters, the most bombers, the most strikes. Intelligence more refined and better than ever. So that's on one hand. On the other hand,
I mean, I wouldn't.
The last 24 hours have seen Iran fire the lowest number of missiles.
They're probably not
firing yet.
They probably
President Trump
either you're taking them out so much, or you've took out their missile capabilities so much, or they're running out of missiles. Now we don't really know. I don't, and you probably don't either. Us regular folk out here, we don't know how many missiles and missile places they have over there. We don't even know how many we have. They could say we got 10 million. Who knows if we could have 2,000. Who knows? I know we're working hard to replenish our stuff, our supplies. So unless you're making that shit, unless you're in the military and that department and you're involved in that department, we really don't know nothing. I mean, we're just going on what they're telling us, and I hope they tell us the truth. I really do. And I believe somewhat they do to a point. Now, I'm not a sucker. I'm not going to say, oh, I believe everything they say, because I don't. But I do believe they do tell us somewhat enough, just that little tip of the cracker. You know what I mean? Like, we're not going to give you all the cheese, but we're going to give you a dot of, you know what I mean? Like when you get a cracker and you put some cheese and it's not enough, like you want the full fucking cracker with the cheese, but you don't get it. You get just that little bit. And it's like, man, I think that's what we get from our government, from any administration. Don't matter who's in charge. But I can tell you one thing. To me, Trump is the alpha male. I'm 45 years old. The most, in my opinion now, this is just my opinion, the most courageous president we've had, the most, unapologetic. He doesn't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like he's the most alpha president we've ever had. He is more transparent with us and you can say what you want. And I know they don't tell us all the truth, but he is more transparent with us than any other administration in my lifetime I've seen. And that's just truth for me.
Declared yesterday, we're crushing the enemy in an overwhelming.
Oh, yes. So we're going to take as long as we have to.
And he wanted to serve his country and be a soldier.
Yes, he's speaking
last night.
This was the actual I think the actual meeting. Yes, the briefing. So we
Well,
can
to our
look
fellow
into it.
Americans, brave warriors, and steadfast allies, good morning.
We have
You know,
so
as
much more.
someone who led troops, led soldiers in the streets.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe they really do have
Iraq,
much left, man.
and who
I mean,
trained
truthfully,
counterinsurgents in
or
Kabul,
they just-
Afghanistan, and who still carries the weight of brothers lost to Iranian terrorist proxies, many backed by the same Iranian regime we're confronting now. This fight, Operation Epic Fury, it hits home. Our generation understands this fight. For 47 years, these barbaric savages in the Iranian regime have murdered our brothers in arms.
Yep.
My guys, your guys, our guys, through their terrorist proxies and cowardly attacks. Now they race toward a nuclear bomb to hold the world hostage. The Iranians have targeted and killed thousands of my American brothers. That race to a nuclear bomb,
Exactly.
President Trump will never allow it. Not now, not ever, not on our watch. The mullahs are desperate and scrambling. Like the terrorist cowards they are, they fire missiles from schools and hospitals, deliberately
I'll look
targeting
that up, man.
innocents, because they know their military is being systematically degraded and annihilated. Iran's neighbors, and in some cases, former allies in the Gulf, they've
Yeah, I do
abandoned
too.
them. And their proxies, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and Hamas, either broken, ineffective, or on the sidelines. Iran stands alone, and they are badly.
I'll write that down.
On day 10 of Operation Epic Fury, we are winning.
You do know I played
With an
golf since I was
overwhelming
in
and
high school, right?
unrelenting
I
focus
played for
on
my high school.
our objectives, which are the same
I mean,
as the day I gave my first briefing here on Operation Epic Fury. They're straightforward, and we are executing them with ruthless precision. One, destroy their missile stockpiles, their missile launchers, and their defense industrial base, missiles and their ability to make them. Two, destroy their navy. And three, permanently deny Iran nuclear weapons forever. It's a laser-focused, maximum authority mission delivered with overwhelming and unrelenting precision. No hesitation, no half measures. As President Trump declared yesterday, we're crushing the enemy in an overwhelming display of technical skill and military force. We will not relent until the enemy is totally and decisively
I'll look it
defeated.
up.
But we do so on our timeline and at our choosing. For example, today will be yet again our most intense day of strikes inside Iran. The most fighters, the most bombers, the most strikes, intelligence more refined and better than ever. So that's on one hand. On the other hand, the last 24 hours have seen Iran fire the lowest number of missiles they've been capable of firing yet. Just the bifurcation, just
Oh,
the
that's
remnants
nice.
that we talked about on our first briefing. You see, this is not 2003. This is not endless nation building under those types of quagmires we saw under Bush or Obama.
Yeah,
It's not
quagmires.
even close. Our generation.
I'll be honest with you. I ain't played in about a year, but I have been to a couple of, Top Golfs, and just messing around. So, but it ain't, I've played my whole life, so it ain't like I'm that rusty. That's one sport I love, man. It's like my motorcycle riding. It's like when I get out on my Harley and I ride, it's like that wind therapy. Golf is what that is. I know a lot of people are, that's stupid, blah, blah. I get it for you. But for me, where I couldn't play sports growing up, and that was the only thing I could do with my health, with my heart condition, what I was born with, that is one of the most relaxing things for me. And it's like my zen place. I love it. I could, getting up early morning, seeing that dew coming off the the fairways and the greens and just that sunrise is some of the best experience. Just like riding a motorcycle, getting up, leaving early, seeing that sun come up and you're riding.
Will not let that happen
No,
again, and
man,
nor
it's
will this
one of the greatest
president,
experiences.
who very clearly ran against those kinds of never-ending, nebulously scoped missions. Those days are dead. Instead, we're winning decisively with brutal efficiency, total air dominance, and an unbreakable will to accomplish the president's objectives.
Exactly.
On our
I agree.
We stay locked on the target because here at the Department of War, that's our job. Now, the chairman and I, having just returned from Dover last night, our troops and their families and the enormous sacrifice that they make is certainly heavy on my mind.
Yeah, I see it.
So I'll close with scripture, drawing strength from Psalm 144.
Yeah.
Blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle. He is my loving God and my fortress, my stronghold and my deliverer, my shield, in whom I take refuge. May the Lord grant unyielding strength and refuge to our warriors, unbreakable protection to them and our homeland, and total victory over those who seek to harm them. And amen. God bless our troops.
Yeah. See if we can get some more briefing on
First,
this.
let me start with honoring our fallen. As the secretary said on
Yeah,
Saturday,
I understand. I
others
don't.
have given all of us.
Yes.
I want you to know that their
I'm
names will
trying to
never be
skip
forgotten.
those people. Yeah, but we want to.
Deeper into Iran's military presence of 2,000-pound GPS
Right here, let's see.
injury. Since our last update, CENTCOM continues to make progress across the southern flank. To date, they've struck more than 5,000 targets. U.S.
Now, if you believe all this,
recently
you believe
dropped
their real
dozens of
transparency, you'll
2,000-pound
see.
GPS penetrating weapons.
I mean, look at that map. If this is where we're hitting, we've already. I mean, it's almost half the country. You know, we've already. You know, we're hitting with between us and Israel. We've hit a lot of stuff. Now we're gonna look for some videos too. I don't know if this guy's posting any videos
drone
yet.
factories to get at the heart of their autonomous capability.
I know there was some
And of course,
unclassified
alongside our
stuff.
regional
I know there
partners
was a
along the
video
southern
going
flank,
around of
continue to execute intercepts against one-way
some
attack
boat or
drones
something on
using
fire. I'm
fighters
not for
and,
sure.
and attack helicopters. Our strikes mean we've made significant progress in reducing the number of missile and drone attacks out of Iran. Ballistic missile attacks continue to trend downward, 90% from where they've started, and one-way attack drone have decreased 83% since the beginning of the operation. A testament to our air defenders and our air defense systems, and as I said, our partners in the region continue to do great work as well. Second, we're making substantial progress towards destroying the Navy. In the first 10 days of the conflict, we're more than 50 Iranian naval ships into the campaign using a combination of artillery, fighters, bombers, and sea-launched missiles. As Admiral Cooper noted last Thursday, we struck and sank an Iranian drone carrier ship, and U.S. CENTCOM continues today to hunt and strike mine-laying vessels and mine storage facilities. This work will continue. Third, against our objectives, we've begun to target Iran's military and industrial complex, again, focusing on centers of gravity to get upstream of the shooters out in the field in order to deny them.
Well, maybe we won't have to put any boots on the ground. That's the main thing I like to focus
Proud I
on.
am of the
So,
extraordinary courage, tenacity.
looks
and
like he
grit
may
and
have a video or
professionalism within the
picture
joint
up.
force.
See,
Last time I had a chance to talk about the Army's incredible logisticians.
yeah,
have already
well,
been,
come on, man. We want to
the
hear what.
USS Ford and the Abraham Lincoln are a special group of sailors I want to highlight.
Yeah, we know that,
Big fun
man.
aircraft
We want to
carrier.
see some
They-
action,
it's
brother.
Noisy, they're prepared.
Yeah, we want to know. We
Single,
know they're
I'm
prepared.
out there. Families in our
We
thoughts.
want to make sure
Combat
that.
deployments can be tough on the force.
Yeah, we know.
Alexandra Ingersoll.
Questions. Let's see.
I will just note that no other country in the world is capable of executing what the chairman just described, day after day, night after night, unrelenting. Well said. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Alexandra Ingersoll, One America News. You talked, Mr. Secretary, you talked at the conference in Florida on Thursday that there was a 90%.
Yeah, it
missile
is.
capability
That's a
degradation
lot
and
of.
82%
That's a
drone
lot,
degradation,
dude.
And I know the chairman just repeated those numbers. We've seen the most amount of fighting these past 5 days. Is there any update to those percentages? And also, are you able to give any quantification of degradation to the enemy's nuclear capabilities yet?
What those numbers represent is a persistent low ability to respond, which is what we're looking for, right? It's if the enemy can simply wait and then project power, that's problematic. And we've seen some spurts here or there, but ultimately the trend lines, if you look at the charts that we look at every day, have gone like this down to all a flat. It doesn't mean they won't be able to project. It doesn't mean they, our air defenders still don't have to defend. They do, but that is strong evidence of degradation, along with the battle damage assessment that the Joint Staff does, which takes time. You've got to look at imagery and recognize whether something's been simply degraded or it's been destroyed, or whether an underground facility has been collapsed or completely obliterated. So there's differences in how you evaluate that, but the numbers staying that low is a demonstration of the efficacy for sure. Yeah, man.
Thanks, Mr. Secretary. There's been reports that the new leader of Iran has been wounded. Do you know if this is true? And what
Yeah, right here. The new leader of Iran.
And then another one, President Trump said he had a really good call with President Putin yesterday. Will Russia be aiding us in this conflict? And can you share anything on that?
They won't be aiding us.
As I've said before, maintains strong relationships with world leaders, which creates opportunities and options for us in very dynamic ways. So the president said it was.
Well, he's so excited about this, ain't he? He gets so excited. I mean, he loves war. He's a war junkie, man. This dude is a war. I give him credit, man. This is what Pete likes to do. He loves his whole life, ever since he served. He loves war. He loves military. I mean, you see how excited he gets over, just destruction of war. I mean, it's cool. Some people are. I got a friend, man, I've known for 25 years, and he's a war junkie, man. He did like 3 or 4 tours. He was in Afghan, Fallujah, Iraq. I mean, all kinds of places. And, man, he loved it. He told me he'd still be there if he could.
Said it was a strong call, reaffirming
just war junkies or some that's just. But we need warriors like this. People don't understand. Oh, they criticize him and they say, well, you know what? We have to have warriors. We have to have people willing to stand up to keep your ass safe. Look at the Crusades. You think those people were just all Christian, innocent warriors? Those people were warriors. They fought. Look at the Romans. Yeah, I'm sure not all the Roman soldiers wanted to be soldiers, but there was warriors, dude. And that's why they succeeded in certain things in their battles. I mean, just look at the empires that they tore down and they took down. I mean, we have to have warriors. If we don't have warriors, man, we don't have a country. We have to have people that love the military, that thrive on this shit like Pete and like these other warriors. Because if not, we would be attacked on our shores. We would completely be attacked. If we didn't have warriors, and I'm not just saying they love to kill and all this, I'm saying they will stand up, and I will too. If someone comes on my home front here, I will do what I have to do. But the military wouldn't accept me because my health conditions, that I was born with. So I couldn't do that. I couldn't serve. And trust me, I would have. Now, you may not agree with this war. You may, object it. You may be a Trump supporter. You may be a Republican, whatever, and you don't agree with that. That's fine. Not everybody has to agree with what we're doing over there. There's certain things in this I don't agree with, but there's also things that you got to say, hey, these not just have been threatening the United States and other countries for 47 years. It's time we had a damn alpha president that stood up and said, hey, I've had enough. We've had enough of this shit. We're tired of people making threats and threats and threats. To me, that's the way I look at it. You know why? Because I have stock in this country. I have 3 daughters and a granddaughter. They're going to reproduce children, future legacies. They need to be safe. Now, you can say what you want. If you got kids, good. You should know where I'm coming from. You want them to be safe. Do you want some other country like Iran threatened every 6 months or every year and them still screaming death to America? I don't care about them other countries over there. I don't. The little bitty hat countries and all those people, to hell with that shit. You know what I mean? I don't care about the government. I mean, whatever. But what I'm saying is I want this country secure for my children and my grandkids. And if it takes an alpha male like Trump, if it takes a president like Trump that says, I don't give a shit, we're going to bomb you back to the Stone Age because we're tired of the threats, then that's what I accept. I will take that because I know he's not going to be a weak, mush brain like Biden was and just say, or Obama and say, here's money. We're going to pay you not to make the nukes. You know what I mean? Even though they were still doing it. I don't want a weak ass president like Obama or Biden or Clinton or Bush or none of those. I want a strong president that says, you come knocking on my door, You know, sometimes you knock on the devil's door, son, he will answer. You understand? So y'all can hate it. Y'all can dislike me if you want. When you watch this stream, if you watch it, if you're not watching it now, if you watch it later, I don't care. I support Trump for what he's doing. I don't know the man. I'm not eating dinner with the man. I'm not hanging out with the man. I'm sure he's a cool dude, but I'm saying I like his policies. I like that he is protecting the American people in America. He's building an empire, and that shows. And that's what I like for my children and grandkids, to be able to be, you know, to live here in this country they were born in and be safe and be able to pursue their dreams and their happiness without any threats. That's what I enjoy. And that's why I like Trump, because he's not afraid to say it. All these other people are afraid to say it, or they're just cowards. And that's my opinion. Now, you may not like it, and that's fine. We all have them.
To Ukraine, and also a recognition that as it pertains to this conflict, they should not be involved. The first question was...
No, Russia should not be involved.
Oh, the new leader of Iran. He would be wise to heed the words of our president, which is to not pursue nuclear weapons and come out and...
So is there a new leader?
Status, that's not something I can comment on right now. Yeah, right here.
Correct. Mr. Secretary, Eric Schmidt with the New York Times. A question for you first. Last week, you talked about this being the beginnings of an air campaign that could last 3 to 8 weeks. Can you give us your assessment on where we are now? And Mr. Chairman, in any conflict, the enemy or the adversary adapts to the tactics it faces. Can you talk about the most challenging adaptation the Iranian military has made to the U.S. military? What challenges are you facing most right now? Thank you.
I appreciate the question.
Why the backlash of you media?
Giving the president of the United States maximum options. And from the beginning, from this podium, we haven't stated how long it will take. Our will is endless. Ultimately, the president gets to determine the end state of those objectives, right?
Yeah.
But what he's said continually, and I want the American people to understand, is
I think as long as
this
he
is not
needs.
endless, it's not protracted. We're not allowing mission creep. The president has set a very specific mission to accomplish. And our job is to unrelentingly deliver that. Now, he gets to control the throttle. He's the one deciding, he's the one elected on behalf of the American people when we're achieving those particular objectives. And so it's not for me to posit whether it's the beginning, the middle, or the end. That's his, and he'll continue to communicate
Exactly.
that.
That's why he
What
got the
we
majority
serve
vote.
him as is we give him updates on a daily basis of exactly where we are, so he can make that determination on the throttle.
But let me ask you something. If he would have ran on, hey, we're going to end Iran, we're going to attack Iran, we're going to take out, you know, Venezuela president, we're going to, the dictator, we're going to do this, and all the things that he's done in the last, you know, year. If he would have ran on all this stuff, would you still have voted for him? I'm just asking. Like, if you're a supporter of, if you're a Trump supporter, would you have still voted for him if he would have ran on this instead of securing the border, which we knew he was going to secure the border? You know, I mean, that's common sense for, you know, common sense president, you know, for common sense people, for conservatives. We don't need, you know, the flood of what did come in here for the last 4 years from under Biden, you know. And now we got people in New York, you know, making homemade IEDs and lighting them and throwing them. I have clips of that. I just dropped a short on that on my channel. I would have, if he'd have said, hey, we're going to take out this regime that's been fucking threatening, you know, this Islamic regime, I'd still support him before he even got elected. I would have. You know why? It's not that I'm not thinking about the soldiers and the American people that may lose their life for the ones that did. There's, I think, up to 7 now. I get it. But they also signed up for that, man. And don't sit and say, oh, no, they didn't. They didn't sign up for war at all. Yes, they do. When they sign their name on that dotted line, they take that commitment. They sign that. They agree. They take an oath, and they understand that they may go to war and they may not come home. That's the facts. That is the facts. Trust me, they're not going to have you to sign and say, "Oh, well, you're not going to go to war. You're not going to die." You know what I mean? No. Look, there's a chance that you may go to war. There's a chance that you may die, and they sign that dotted line. So they agree to that, and I hate it for them. I pray for the families. I really do. I think it's one of the biggest losses that we do have is our military people. I really do, but. People are saying, well, we've already lost, you know, 7 people. Yes, I get it. And I feel bad. I pray for him. I really do. But here's the thing, man. I would still vote for Trump if he said, I'm going to take out Iran. I'm going to take out Venezuela dictator. I would have.
Chairman.
Thank you for the question on adaptation. As you're right, no plan survives first contact with the enemy or Murphy. They're adapting, as are we. Of course, we have very entrepreneurial warfighters out there. I'd rather not, for operational security reasons, tell them what's working. So I'm not a non-answer.
Yeah, you don't want to give your secrets away.
You're watching
or what we're doing.
And
I
we
mean,
are
shit.
adapting faster than they are.
Are they more formidable than you anticipated, General?
I mean, I think they're fighting, and I respect that, but I don't think they're more formidable than what we thought.
Secretary Ericson, thank you. Jordan Conrad from Gateway Pundit. Axios reported, citing U.S. and Israeli sources, that U.S. was not happy with strikes on 30 fuel.
Okay, well,
while this is anonymous.
was he
sourcing,
supposed to
you know,
walk to the
seems like
Capitol with
really
them
what President
and
Trump
literally
said
go in
today,
there
that
and
there's certain spots
destruct
that
stuff?
want to hit
I
related
mean,
to energy infrastructure that
he's
was
president.
rebuild. And you know, whether this reporting is true or not, what's your message?
He made
to
statements.
Americans,
Go
those
there
who support
peacefully,
the president,
protest peacefully.
those who aren't
The
really
ones that
in favor
chose
of
not
war,
to, that was
worry
their
that
decision. They're
Israel
grown.
might be taking
They have to
advantage
take
of
responsibility for
US
what they
attack.
did on
And
J6.
then for Mr. Chairman, for you, I wanted to ask, when you say that we're moving inland, what capabilities does Iran have to shoot down jets over their land? And would that trigger some kind of rescue operation that could risk a bigger ground operation?
Like volunteering
By
to
saying Israel's been a
Hang on
really
a
strong
minute.
partner in this effort. Where they have different objectives, they've pursued them. Ultimately, we've stayed focused on ours. But what Iran has felt is the power of the world's two most powerful air forces. In that particular case, those weren't our strikes or that objective, or that wasn't necessarily our
Well, that
objective.
tells you he didn't know for sure if it was stolen. But now that, you know, all the shit that they're, you know, seeing now from, you know, subpoenaing and getting all the voter, you know, reels and all that stuff, it seems like they did, in my opinion. Also, so you're a tradesman, so you're going to volunteer to go over there and rebuild? Is that what you're talking about?
But the president.
Let's go
To
back.
ask, when you say that we're moving inland, what capabilities does Iran have to shoot down jets over their land?
Yeah, we're going
And
in.
would
We're
that trigger
moving
some kind of
inland.
rescue operation that could risk a bigger ground operation.
Well, I would just state by saying Israel's been a really strong partner in this effort. Where they have different objectives, they've pursued them. Ultimately, we've stayed focused on ours. But what Iran has felt is the power of the world's two most powerful air forces. In that particular case, those weren't our strikes or that objective, or that wasn't necessarily our objective. But the president has made it clear to those concerns that we're not getting pulled in any direction. We're leading. The president is leading. He's determining where we want to go, what the outcome.
What he's saying is Israel's not telling us what we need to be doing over there, and we're not following. We're leading the attacks.
What the end state is
what he's
with a
trying to
very
tell
keen
you.
eye. And I understand those concerns because I've heard
Without
from a lot of people
saying
who
it
went
out
through-
loud,
I went
you know.
through 20 years of those wars myself. Worried about getting dragged in, worried about mission creep, worried about nation building,
Yeah.
or democracy expansion. That's never the perspective the president has pursued on this. Just because previous presidents and previous secretaries have decided to just pour more resources and more people in toward some unguided end state, doesn't mean that's the way the world needs to look today. In fact, the American people voted for a different approach.
Yeah.
But what the president also stated from the beginning was Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. And it's one thing to say it. It's easy to say. Anybody can say that. I mean, Barack
Yeah.
Obama said that.
Obama said
But
it,
to
but
do something about it takes courage.
to pay them billions of dollars,
In
that
courage,
was
in
ridiculous.
that resolve, you can also be very scoped in what you're trying to execute to ensure that the sacrifice of Americans, American treasure, American lives, all of those
Okay, that's
properly
what
meet
people do in
the
years.
objective that you're trying to accomplish. And certainly, as someone I talked out front about what the Iranians have done to our generation, yes, we're clear-eyed about it. But my job is to keep it scoped, given the directive of the president to accomplish the mission.
Thank you for the question. Most of their higher end surface-to-air missile systems are not factors at this point.
Teaching
We're able to
masonry.
move around
Hmm.
fighters that are moving deeper with relative impunity. Always
Good
a
work.
risk out there. I don't want to say that there isn't, and we'll.
You may have a lot more coming if you're going to, you know, volunteer for Gaza and Iran later on. You know, it's a lot of work. They blew Gaza every building up, man. That's ridiculous, though. How, you know,
Thanks,
I
Secretary. President Trump told our team on the ground early this morning.
a lot of profits
that,
off war,
something
man.
that has surprised him the
Not
most
talking about
during the
you.
course
I'm
of
talking
this
about a lot
operation
of
so far
other
has
stuff.
been
Profits coming
the
in.
Iranian
You
regime
know,
attacking countries that are
how
not
those
attacking
warmongers
them.
love
I'm curious
war.
if that surprised you
They profit.
as well. And
Their
General,
businesses, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, I own a construction company. Yeah, really? Okay. And I know she's not about, you know, she wasn't for the war and all that. I'm saying people like her up there, they own companies, or their spouses own construction companies and different, you know, intel companies and all that stuff. And then what do? Once, you know, They're warmongers like Cheney and all those people. You know, they send in their companies to make millions of dollars, and then they come out of Congress, you know, worth 30, $40 million or more, not just on trade, but on stuff like that.
Curious if you were open to the possibility of escorting vessels through the Strait of Hormuz, and if you could describe some of the challenges of doing so.
Big mistake by the Iranian regime to start targeting its neighbors. Right.
Yeah.
away,
Why did they
exposing who
hit
are,
13 other countries?
targeting, flailing recklessly.
That's
at the
stupid.
beginning.
Trying to attack
I
the
can't say
American
that
bases.
We anticipated necessarily that's exactly how they would react.
Yeah.
But we knew it was a possibility. And I think it was a demonstration of the desperation of that regime then and that regime now, that they still think their pathway out is to try to alienate their Arab partners even more, who've instead decided to come to us and have been willing to go on.
Well, I think they know
and
better.
given us access base.
I really do.
In a new partnership that will continue to remake the region the way that President Trump did with the Abraham Accords. So you're pushing those countries in our direction to support this effort,
And that's
further
good.
alienating Iran.
I think they know America
it's worth
will
underscoring. I see in the media
do the
banners
same
that
to
say
them.
War expanding or war spread. It's actually the opposite. It's
See?
actually quite contained, and
Yeah.
more of those countries are coming on side, recognizing that you can't live under a conventional umbrella with nuclear ambitions with a radical regime like that. Again, properly scoping the objectives in the process. And then you want to talk about the Strait?
Sure. On the potential, if tasked to escort, we'll look at the range of options to set the military conditions to be able to do that. And then, like we always do with every potential mission, come to the Secretary and the President with both what are the resources required, what is the command and control required, and what are the risks, and how do we mitigate them?
Yeah, if we escort people
Fire and
out.
fury will reign upon
All right, man. That's enough of that briefing. I want to see where we have. This is some of the photos, guys, of the. I think it's where they welcomed the soldiers back that was killed in action or over there on those bases. So pretty sad, pretty ridiculous in my opinion. We could have. I just think if Iran does anything that stops the flow of oil within the Strait of Hormuz, that strait, what they're talking about is that ocean strait or the river. I don't think it's really a river. It's like a ocean river strait. It's a pathway, and that's what he's saying. If they stop it, if they stop the pathway, for the oil. And then everyone, of course, our oil prices has went up. Let's see when this was. I think this was yesterday, maybe. Yeah, his briefing, Trump's briefing. This is the one I was looking for. I think this was his press briefing on everything here with Iran.
As we continue Operation Epic Fury, we're also focused on keeping
Let's see what we
energy
can.
and oil flowing. to
Well,
the
good.
world.
Let's hope.
And I will not allow a terrorist.
Why is
regime
it went up to
hold the world
$3?
hostage and attempt.
Seriously, like I'm in East Tennessee in the mountains, guys. My gas had dropped to $2.29. $2.29. It is $2.99, which is not real outrageous. I get it. A lot of people are saying, well, it's spring and it goes up in the summer and goes back down. I get that. I know that. But for vacationers and stuff, but it's not really spring, not where I'm at. And I know where I'm at. I've been living here for years. I know how the gas goes. Trust me. It's went up because of this, because it went up the next day. It jumped like 20 cents and then it's kept going up. So it's jumped to $3, which as long as it don't keep jumping. And what pisses me off, here's the thing that I want to make clear. Why is our gas and oil going up? Why? If we're drilling our own oil, we're refining our own oil. If we're not getting our oil from overseas and we've just, seized billions of barrels from Venezuela, why is our gas prices going up? Just because Iran in the war? So they're going to say, okay, so gas prices are going up. This might be the reason why. Gas prices are going up. Why does gas prices go up? Because when you pay more, you get less. Well, our military needs oil. Our military needs fuel. So they will be using it. So guess what? There's going to be less for us in the long run to have. So it goes up. So they can make more money. That's the only theory I can think of, because we're not getting our oil. We're not getting our fuel from Iran. We're not getting our fuel from Russia or none of those countries. Are we? I mean, who really knows? They say we're refining it ourselves. Then why ain't it a 50 cents a gallon, $1 a gallon? If we got so much oil underneath us, like Trump says and everybody says, why isn't it just $1 a gallon? You know, why ain't we got so much you couldn't sell it? You know what I mean? Like, we should be overstocked with fuel, with oil. Wouldn't that make more sense? Or would it just make sense that, okay, I know that our carriers and all this has to run on diesel and we have to have fuel, oil, all that stuff. I just wonder why they keep saying, because you get a lot of critics out here and they say, well, gas went up. So, you know, well, of course, because why? Because the jets, how many jets are flying over? How many aircraft carriers? How much, you know, how many warboats ships we have? How many, you know, whatever we have? How much fuel do we have to supply for our military to run? That's a lot. We have to supply quite a bit. So of course it's going to knock it down a little bit, make it go up a little higher. Now, as long as it don't jump to $4 or $5 a gallon, I think we'll be okay. But there's always going to be, you know, haters. I mean, look at my hat. You know what I mean? Like, just read the hat.
To stop the globe's oil supply, and if Iran does anything to do that, they'll get hit at a much, much harder level. I will take out those targets that were easy and that I mentioned just before. We'll take them out so quickly. They'll never be able to recover, ever.
Good.
If they want to play that game,
take them out.
They better not play that game. In the long run, oil supplies will be dramatically more secure without the threat of Iranian ships, drones, missiles, nuclear menace, or anything. So the Strait of Hormuz is going to remain safe. We have a lot of Navy ships there. We have the best equipment in the world, inspecting for mines. Again, most of their ships are down at the bottom of the sea, but we will.
Most of their ships are down at the bottom of the sea.
That it will not be possible.
I love it, dude.
He's
just
helping them
blunt.
ever recover that.
I am too. This is why I like Trump.
In recent years, the regime and its terror proxies have launched attacks on hundreds of commercial vessels.
He don't play around.
All of this threat once and for all, and the result will be lower oil prices, oil and gas.
Let's hope, because I just talked about it going up.
American families, we've done that. We've an excursion into something that had to be done. We're getting very close to finishing that too. In the meantime, during this brief disruption, the United States is offering political risk insurance to any tankers operating in the Gulf. So we're putting up risk insurance. We'll perhaps go alongside of them for protection. We don't think it'll be necessary if it is. And if they do anything, the price will be incalculable.
Day 11 of this. So let's see if we can find us some. He's a funny dude. Okay, that was the briefing, or somewhat of. This is okay. Let's see. This might be a little longer.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's been a very big 2 days, I have to say. Yeah. Power has been sunk. It's on the bottom. Mold down. What incredible technology. The Patriots have been unbelievable, and other things. And the laser technology that we have now is incredible. We didn't do this at the time we did it. I think they had in mind to attack us. And if you notice, they did something which was very foolish, very stupid.
He said, I think they
They
had.
attacked their neighbors.
You can't
Their
think.
neighbors were
You can't think,
largely
Trump.
neutral,
You have to know.
or at least weren't going to be involved, and they got attacked. And it had the reverse effect. The neighbors came onto our side and started attacking them, and actually quite successfully.
You know, they may
You look
do
at
it.
Saudi Arabia.
They may just say, you know what? We've had enough of Iran, like those other countries, Saudi Arabia and all them. Yes, they're Muslim countries, but they're not sitting there doing what Iran's been doing every day, you know, for 47 years. Not really. No. I don't believe in Muslim, religion. I believe it's made up. I believe it's bullshit, my opinion. Especially with the sickness of it and marrying children, that's disgusting. You know what I mean? Pull out the wood chippers, in my opinion. So on all of them, I'm not friendly with any of them. I'm not going to be. I don't agree to that. Like I said, but that's not what this is about to me. This is not about religion. This is about a terrorist country that is threatening not just the United States, but other countries. Like you said, and just like, what did they do? They turned and bombed, 12, 13 countries next to their own, so-called Muslim Brotherhood or Islam, people. That tells you they're not for anyone but their self.
And others but
Yeah,
they were
Qatar.
strong and they were smart, but they
Yeah.
attacked.
They attacked
Nobody,
them
when I
all.
first heard it, I said, no, somebody made a mistake.
How do you?
There was no mistake.
How do you
we
do
had
that?
Over
You-
1,000
you should-
missiles.
You
shot
should
at
want
us,
allies,
almost
especially the
all.
countries next to you,
On the very first day I came
and the
down
people that
yesterday
believe in your
2015, I said,
ideology or your
quote, "I will
beliefs. You
stop
know,
Iran from
religious
getting
beliefs.
nuclear weapons, and all I'm doing is keeping my promise." Think of that. That was in 2015. I said it. It was a threat then, and a much bigger threat now, but no longer a threat. Not for a long time, anyway. We want to keep it that way. As we continue Operation Epic Fury, we're also focused on keeping energy and oil flowing to the world. And I will not allow a terrorist regime to hold the world hostage and attempt to stop the globe's oil supply. And if Iran does anything to do that, they'll get hit at a much, much harder level. I will take out those targets that were easy and that I mentioned just before. We'll take them out so quickly, they'll never be able to recover, ever. If they want to play
That's
that
what you
game,
should be doing
they will
now.
not play that game. In the
Take them
long
out
run,
where they
we'll
can't
deploy
never recover.
dramatically more secure without
You said that 6 months ago on Operation Hammer or Night, whatever it was. You said we took out their nuke capabilities, blah, blah, blah. We demolished, or he said we obliterated them. We crushed them. Really? Because now, once again, thanks to Israel's government, they're 2 weeks away of making nukes again. So if we really took them out, then why are they still a threat to the nukes? Why is it still a threat? I'm just asking questions, guys. Why is it still a threat? Why? I mean, I'm not saying I disagree with what we're doing. You know, take them out. We don't need any threat, really. But here's the thing: take them all out. China, Russia, all of them. Get rid of all of them. I don't give a shit. Fuck it. We're in a safe country. We're alpha. We need to make sure. I'm tired of us being the biggest dog on the block and never do anything about it. We are. To hell with everybody. Maybe all these other countries to see after this that, you know, just sit down and, you know, do what we ask. I don't care. I'm just saying, fuck it. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, like, if we took out all their nuclear capabilities 6 months ago, how come someone else is telling us, our country and Trump again, well, we're 2 weeks away from it again? You know, they've been 2 weeks away, considering to Netanyahu for 30 years. They've been 2 weeks away from having a nuke. Wake up. What's really going on behind this shit?
threat of Iranian ships, drones, missiles, nuclear menace.
You see, I'm not just the
or anything,
ecosystem
so
for
straight,
the GOP.
Hormuz
Like
is
some
going
people.
to-
Some people copy their titles, even their video clips, their titles. They'll copy, you know, even like I'm saying, like when like Fox News comes out online or whatever. I know people that copy their they can't even create their own titles to come out with and put down. You know what I mean? They copy the same shit and they're just an ecosystem for them, for Fox News or the GOP. I'm not. I'm a conservative, but I'm a realist. I know what I see. I know what I believe. I know what I don't believe, you know. But I'm not just going to sit here and show you, you know, and agree with all this shit that they all are doing, you know.
Remain safe.
I have my own opinion, my own mind. I can make up my own shit. I can see my own reality, you know.
Again, most
And
of
I
the-
show you guys this stuff. I bring you this stuff because I want you to make up your own mind. I want you to be able to make up your own opinions, you know. And we dive in on some of the other channels, the outlets, but you can't show CNN and MS. They hit you on copyright every time I do it. Every time I try to show a clip, they hit me on copyright. They're assholes. They don't want nobody using their clips. Seriously,
They're down at the bottom of the sea.
That's the way-
We will hit them so hard that it will not be possible for them.
after Elon Musk bought X here, they do not want conservatives sharing their bullshit out. I mean, that's the truth. They do not want us sharing their lies and their propaganda out. And because that's what they do. They warmonger. They you know, they push those lies and they try to cancel every time we show their stuff and debunk their shit. They copyright us. They cancel us.
Or anybody else helping them to ever recover.
That's the
that
truth.
section of the world.
You want to know why a lot of
In
channels
recent
don't
years,
show
the
CNN and all those?
terror
Because
proxies have
that's
launched
what they do
attacks
to
on
us.
hundreds of
They
commercial
cancel us. They
vessels.
copyright us.
We're putting an end to all of this threat once and for all, and the result will be lower oil prices, oil and gas prices for American families. We've done that. We've done it. We brought it very low. This was just an excursion into something that had to be done. We're getting very close to finishing
Yeah,
that.
he
In the
does.
meantime,
I
during the
agree.
brief
That's what I was
disruption,
asking.
the United
Why-
States is offering political risk
why did they
insurance
jump
to
so
any
high?
tankers operating in the Gulf? So we're putting up risk insurance. We'll
So-
perhaps go alongside of them for protection. We don't think it'll be necessary. If it is, and if they do anything,
Yeah,
so
let's
we
see
have
if we can
sanctions in
get
some countries. We're
to
gonna
some questions down
win
here.
this, and it's going to be.
I know what you're saying, Trump. We all know
destroy the
what's going
Iranian
on.
Gulf.
Okay, let's see.
Very
Let's see
Oh,
if we
Marco
can get.
Rubio is it his leadership?
Let's
Yeah.
see.
If it starts up again, they'll be, the world with the greatest equipment and the greatest people in the world. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Iran's a very powerful country. They were going to take over the Middle East. If we did not hit them, they were going to take over the Middle East. They had thousands and thousands since their last hit. They had thousands and thousands of missiles and everything else. Most are now destroyed, but they were going to take over the Middle East. Those weapons were aimed at Middle Eastern countries that had nothing to do with this.
Yeah, their own
They were
people,
going to take over
too.
the Middle East,
Yeah.
and they were going to try and destroy Israel. So we stopped it with good timing.
That's what it's all about,
And
right there.
We're very proud
He
to be
just said it.
involved in this, and it's going to be ended soon. And if it starts up again, they'll be hit even harder. Thank you very much for being here. Go ahead. Any questions?
Well, you know they got questions.
Thank you so much.
Let's hear some dumbass
Approve
questions.
Of Iran's new supreme leader. And secondly, can you tell us more about your call with Russian President Vladimir Putin today?
Yes.
What did you discuss?
Yes, I had a very good call with President Putin. We had a lot of people on the line from our side, from his side. We were talking about Ukraine, which is just a never-ending fight. And look, there's tremendous hatred between President Putin and President Zelensky. They
Yeah.
can't seem to get it together.
Biden
But I think
allowed
it was a
that.
Positive call on that subject.
He basically started that war.
And,
Biden
He
did
wants to
by saying, "Well, they can do a small
He would be more
incursion."
helpful by getting the Ukraine-Russia war over with. That would be more helpful. But we had a very good talk, and he wants to be very constructive. Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
But why do we keep going back and forth with talks? They're not Ukraine, Zelensky, and Putin, Russia's Putin president. They don't want agreement. They don't want peace. They really don't. They may say they do. If they did, this wouldn't have been going on for so long. They're not. I mean, I get it. Zelensky's not willing to negotiate and give them the land they want. I can't blame them. If someone come over here to our country, you think we're just going to give? Oh, wait, we did, didn't we? We gave Muslims like how much of Minnesota, how much of Maine, how much of North Carolina, Texas.
You called it an excursion. You said it would be over soon. Are you thinking this week it will be over? Are
No,
you
but
talking about
soon.
days?
See, they want a number.
Very soon. Look,
why would you
everything
tell
we
them
have is done,
anything?
including their leadership. In fact, there are 2 levels of leadership, and even actually, as it turns out, more than that. But 2 levels of leadership are gone. Most people have never even heard about the leaders that they're talking about. So
No, because they're already
It's
executed.
obviously been very, very powerful, very effective.
You know,
To Cuba, you said that Cuba wants to make a deal.
Yes.
What would the United States get in return for that? And why should Americans trust Marco
Cuban
Rubio to
cigars?
negotiate it?
Well, Marco Rubio is doing a great job. I think he's going to go down as the greatest Secretary of State in history. Look at what we've done as a.
he may go down as one of the greatest
what we've done
presidents
as
too
an
if he
administration.
runs later.
They trust Marco.
Yep.
And so do the American people trust. He's been successful no matter where.
I
he's been.
mean,
he also speaks the language, which is always nice and always helpful. But he's dealing.
I don't know if he can be president.
a
Was he
friendly
born in
takeover. It might
America?
not be a friendly taker. It wouldn't matter.
Was
Because they're
Marco
really
Rubio born in
down
America,
to,
guys? I know his
as they say,
family fled from
fumes.
Cuba, but
They have no energy. They have no money.
Huh.
They're in deep trouble on a humanitarian basis.
something I'll look into.
And we don't want to see that, but they were very, very bad to a lot of people, as you know, and a lot of people living the Cuban American vote, which I got at record levels. Very important.
Everything's
People are
record
very
levels.
important.
That's
They
why
don't know what they
Democrats
went
hate
through. They
this
went
guy.
through hell. Some of them have gone on to be some of the most successful people. in the
Exactly
world.
why Democrats
Cuban
hate him.
American
Because
business people, some of
everything's
them are, like,
record
very
levels or
successful
the best it's ever
in the
been in
country.
history, you know.
And a lot of them are
They
friends of
can't
mine.
stand
I've
for
been
Trump
fighting
to
this
say
battle
that.
with them for a long time. The Castro regime was brutal.
Yeah.
But they lived off Venezuela. Now they don't live off Venezuela. Sends them no energy, no fuel, no oil, no money, no nothing. They lived without Venezuela. They couldn't have made it. And we cut them off from everything else. So, yeah, they're going to make either a deal or we'll do it just as easy anyway. Yeah. Please, go ahead.
Tomahawk missile likely destroyed that Iranian girls' school. So will the U.S. accept any responsibility?
Well, I
for that
haven't seen
strike?
it. And I will say that the Tomahawk, which is one of the most powerful weapons around, is used by, is sold and used by other countries. You know that.
And that's all they're worried
Whether
about
it's
is
Iran,
who hit
who
that
also has some
school.
tomahawks. I wish they had
Was the
more.
school even hit,
But,
or is that just
whether it's
rumor?
Iran or somebody else, the fact that it's
They keep
tomahawk,
saying a
tomahawk
school
is
was
very
hit, a
generic and
girls'
sold to other
school.
countries. But that's being investigated right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Thank you. Mr. President, you've said the war is, quote, very complete, but your defense secretary says this is just the beginning. So which is it, and how long should Americans be
Well, I
prepared
think
for
you could
this war
say
to last
both.
for?
It's the beginning of building a new country, but they have no Navy, they have no Air Force, they have no anti-aircraft equipment. It's all been blown up. They have no radar, they have no telecommunications, and they have no leadership. It's all gone. So,
So
you
they
can
basically
look at
got
that
nothing,
statement. We could call it a tremendous success right now as we leave here. I could call it, or we could go further, and we're going to go further.
Yeah.
But
Let's keep going further.
The big risk on that war.
Let's make sure
has been
they're
over for
out.
3 days. We
I
wiped
don't
them
want to
out
be
the
back
first-
there in a
in the
year or
first 2
6
days.
months or
When you think
whenever.
about it, it's
Still
incredible. We
doing
wiped
this
out a
shit
big
over.
Navy, very powerful Navy. You know, these were ships. These were serious ships. These were ships that you buy when you want to win battles. They're all on the bottom floor. The sailors are all running off the ships. They refuse to get on the ships. The Air Force is gone. Everything's gone. The missiles are down to a trickle.
He said they're running
drones
off
are
the
down
ships.
to
They're refusing to get on
probably
the ship.
25%. And they'll be
Well, yeah,
soon
they know
down
if they're
nothing
going to
while
be
the
sank to the bottom of the
manufacturers,
ocean.
drones are under fire as we speak.
I
They're
mean,
being hit. So
yeah, he's hitting
the
them
rest is
right
gonna be
now.
Determination as to
They're being
my
hit
attitude
right
along
now,
with the people
guys.
in the Trump administration.
They've
what we wanna
been
do.
laying fucking bombs for days, dude.
Yeah, please.
Can I ask
This
you,
is the
you know,
11th
with
day.
certain additional oil waivers or sanctions. Can you talk a little bit more about that and address in particular?
Well,
are
we're
you
looking to
considering
keep the
measures
oil prices down. We went
Well,
artificially
they're
up
not,
because of
Trump.
this excursion into
They went up.
a very positive thing. I mean, this was an excursion that a lot of people wouldn't have done. I knew oil prices would go
No,
up. if I did
there's
this,
no-
and they
there ain't
went
a
up
president
probably less than I
that
thought
did
they'd go
this.
up. But I don't think anybody thought we were going to be this quickly successful. This was a military success, the likes of which people.
I know we got a
have the
daily
best
briefing
military.
today
We
at
have the best
2 with,
equipment.
I think,
We
the
have,
White House or Caroline
I
Levitt
believe,
or
the
something
best
like that.
generals. We have the best, and this went very quickly. We talked about that with President Putin. He was very impressed with what he saw.
Who
because
cares? I
nobody's
don't
ever
care
seen
if we
anything
impress
like
him
it.
or
You know,
what.
Iran was a very powerful
Why do you keep trying to impress
military
people?
country, with
I
all
know
the
why,
missiles.
because he
Now,
wants his
you had
name
the
to
double
be
attack.
at
You
the
had the original
top.
attack with us on Israel.
He has
and
to,
that
Trump
knocked us
has
a
to
little.
have
Then you
that,
had the
t-
big
and I get
bombers,
it.
which
It's
took
that
out their
ego,
nuclear
that
capability, and
narcissist.
they would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 weeks to
Rich.
4
I
weeks.
mean, he had to have his
And they would
name
have
on
used it
buildings in
long
New
before
York.
this
He
press
had to be
conference.
at the top of the
And we might
game
have
in
had a
New
much
York.
different press conference if we
What
had a
was
press
more
conference.
higher
So,
than what he was
but
already?
it's been
Movies. He was
amazing.
in
The
movies. Yeah, he's
military
on TV
success that
show.
we've had is truly
President.
unprecedented.
The only way he knows he would went down in history.
You said you've told your congressional colleagues.
Because let me tell you something. Your name can be wiped off a building. That building can be tore down. Your name can be lost in history. But if you're president, he knew that was a guarantee to have his legacy and his name, his family name, marked in history where no one would ever forget that there was a President Trump. There was Donald Trump.
Will not sign any piece of legislation until
I believe that's why he ran for president to start with. No, I believe he did care about this country. He's been saying it for over 30 years. I really do. He does care for this country. He knew we were getting ripped off by all the tariffs, all that shit for years and years. But even if he was a Democrat or on the Democrat side for years, he still had common sense. He still knew we were getting ripped off. You go look at any of the old interviews of Oprah and all those people that interviewed him. He knew he had common sense. But I believe he peaked in his career, in his name. And what else was there to go to know that his name would last in history? President's the only thing that he could have done left that would run for president and know that your name would be marked in history. And now he will go down as one of the greatest presidents there is.
Does that include
That's the bottom line.
confirmation of Senator Mullen as your next
You
speaker?
may not
Senator
agree
Thune
with
said
it, but that's the
funding
truth.
bill. And Senator Thune said today, it's not a matter of whether or not your Republican colleagues agree with the policy. It's about changing the process. In other words, getting rid of the filibuster to get there.
So in order to get it, you're going to need Democrat votes. And what we're saying is the Save America, not the SAVE Act, which nobody knew what it was, the Save America Act, the Save America Act. And that's voter ID. We want voter ID. When a voter, we want to be able to see a picture of the voter. We want to be able to see that the voter is legitimate. We want, very importantly, confirmation that this voter is a citizen of the United States of America. And we want no end.
It's not hard to do, is it?
Scams. So we have exceptions for the military, for sick, for disabled, and for people that are away, business trips or whatever. even vacations will be very.
I mean, I put a
They have
video
two
out
things,
on
no men and women's
where the
sports and no
View lady just
transgender
crushed those
mutilation
Whoopi
of
Goldberg and
children.
all
We don't
those.
want our
It's only got like 1,000 or 1,400
mutilation of our
views.
children.
It should have
So we don't want
100,000
that.
views.
So we added those two things.
She
That's
crushed
five-
them
we have
about
5 days.
ID. That,
Good points.
about people having to have ID just to come into that studio. They have to be verified. They have to be background checked to make sure they're not conservative. But you don't have to have ID to vote in this country to be she busted that wide open.
It polls at
Made those women
86%
look like
with
shit.
Democrats. Think of that. The overall vote is 86%. With Republicans, it's
I dropped a
98%.
short, guys. I got tons
And
of
the only one
shorts. Go
opposed to it
watch
is
them.
the
They're
Democrat
good.
leadership because they cheat. They want to cheat. So we added those 2 points.
I
We're
got
going to the poll,
videos. Go watch
and We're
videos.
going to have to fight like hell.
But if
Now,
you're just here for the
certain
live
things
streams,
will
I
happen,
appreciate
certain
that
things will
too.
Take place. I'm here to do a great job for the country. But we don't have a country if we're going to have elections that are so corrupt. and so
Exactly.
dishonest like we've witnessed.
You ain't
over the
gonna
last
have a country.
period of time. You know, as an example, virtually nobody has nobody has a system of mail-in ballots like we have. No other country in the world. France went away from it. They all went, you know why? Because it's corrupt.
Yeah,
And
they-
Jimmy
they
Carter, when he
cheat.
had a commission, frankly, I think it's probably the best thing Jimmy Carter did. He said, you can't have mail-in voting because it's inherently dishonest. And it's
Yep.
turned out to be totally dishonest. So we're going to fight for it. Yeah.
Activated any sleeper cells inside the U.S. There's reports that they have pressed that trigger button to activate those cells.
Well, we had an incident in New York. You know
For a
that.
long time. We've been very much on top of it. One of the things we have to do is get the Democrats to stop the Democrat shutdown, because as you know, the apparatus that looks into that, Schumer and the Democrats have shut it down,
Yeah.
which tells you they probably hate our country a lot. But the Democrats have to open that up. But we've got very,
They
very
do.
good intelligence into that. We know a lot of different things that have
They
happened.
can't
that have
stand
very bad.
America, man.
A lot of them came in during the Biden open border period, but we have them under. We've got them. We're watching every single one of them. Yeah, we know a lot about them. The biggest problem we have is the Democrat shutdown. We know a lot about them, but the shutdown doesn't allow us to do what we have to do.
Do you have to take him out? Does he have a target on his back?
You mean the new supreme leader? You mean the son?
How can there be in Iran? with
Well, I
another
don't want to.
Ayatollah?
I don't want to say that, but I was disappointed because we think it's going to lead to just more of the same problem. For the
It is.
country, So I was disappointed to see their choice.
I mean,
You've said you have someone in mind to be the new Iranian leadership, if not the Ayatollah's son. What are you looking for in that person? Are you looking at someone internal, given that you just said that their leadership has been?
I like the
decimated
idea
and wiped
of
out?
internal and eternal. Come to think of it, but I like the idea of internal because it works well. I mean, I think we've proven that so far in Venezuela. We have a woman, Delcy, who has been, president of the country, very respected, she's doing a great job, and it's
but she's also right
we
under
had,
the
as you
dictator.
remember, Iraq.
She was his
Everybody got
second.
fired. The military got fired. The police got fired. The politicians got fired. There was nobody. And you
Good.
know what they turned into? ISIS. And we don't want that.
Yeah, we don't.
So I would like to see people that are inside go. Now they talk about,
And that's what they'll do in
Bashar.
Iran.
They talk about other
If the
people.
military and the police that are still standing for that regime, if they get put out, that will be they will be
and I think it'll continue to be good. The relationship is
an ISIS group
smart country
or terrorist
We've
group.
taken out 100 million
That's what
barrels
they'll
of
be.
oil. It's
They'll
right
do
now
that.
in Houston being.
Because that's what he's saying anyways.
taken
When
care
you
of.
change a
It's
regime,
so beautiful.
it ain't
You get to
just,
see this
okay,
work.
we took out how
We
many
have,
supreme leaders and
they
all
put
the
the
leaders under
refineries
him,
being
40,
refined in
50,
Houston, which is made.
but they're
exactly
still
for that
going
purpose.
at it. Why?
And so far,
Because
it's
the military and the
100
police are
million
still,
barrels
for
of oil, and
47
now they have
years,
another
those
100
military and
million
police have
barrels
been
coming. And
under that
it's like a
supreme
partnership.
leader.
We're getting
They
along so
believe
well
that
with
shit.
that.
They believe that
It's great
supreme
for
leader.
Venezuela,
So
and it's great for the
they
United States.
follow him. They follow that supreme leader. So of course the police and military believe in that, and that they're under that ideology. So you've got to get rid of the police and the military in Iran because their beliefs. But get, like he said, what does that create? If you get rid of 10,000 or however many people they have for the police, say 2,000 or more, or military, guess what? That's thousands more of ISIS or whatever they want to call themselves now. Now there's another threat we have to worry about, or that country has to worry about. So I don't know if it's a domino effect or if it's like dominoes falling backwards or what.
Please go ahead. Mr. President, you just
Does
said
anyone
that
win in this
another-
situation? You know what I mean? Like,
its hands on a tomahawk and bombed its own elementary school on the first day of the war.
Oh my
You're the only
God, I
person
just
in your
asked that,
plane
dude.
Even your defense secretary wouldn't say that when he was asked, standing over your shoulder on your plane on Saturday. Why are you the only person saying this?
Because I just don't know enough about it. I think it's something that I was told is under investigation, but tomahawks are used by others, as you know. Numerous other nations have tomahawks. They buy them from us.
Yeah.
But I will.
We're not the
certainly,
only
whatever
ones that
the,
use them.
Report shows.
I
I'm willing
mean,
to live with that report.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
If
please.
whatever the report shows, we'll have to live with it.
You said earlier.
But why would we target a school knowing, if our intelligence and Israel's intelligence is that good that we know exactly where these people are and we've bombed 40 of them or 50? Well, you think we're really going to just bomb an innocent schoolhouse full of innocent girls, little girls? I mean, that's not us. We don't do that stuff. Now, yes, mistakes are made, but I think our intelligence are a lot better than that.
That we've already won in many ways, but we haven't won enough. What do you consider enough? What's your baseline?
Where they're not going to be.
He's not going to give you a time
limit
limit
to develop a nuclear weapon.
Yeah.
Where they'll look at that man and some other people from the administration and say, all right, we're not going to do it. They were not willing to say that.
Yeah.
And when Steve called up and he said that to me, I said, well, here we go. Let's do it the hard way. But the hard way, I think, is probably the easy way. When basically I can see that they will no longer have any capacity whatsoever for a very long period of time of developing weaponry that could be used against the United States, Israel, or any of our allies. We have great allies.
Yeah, let's
There's
not let them
great
make any weapons.
countries that are allies. And they were staying out of it until they got hit. Someday they'll have to do a story. Why did he do that? Why did they do that? But they were going to hit them. If I didn't hit them first, they were going to hit our allies first. I believe, upon information and belief, but I believe that he was going to, they were going to take over the Middle East. They were looking to take over the Middle East. Now, had Operation Midnight Hammer not taken place, that was definite, because they would have had a nuclear weapon within a matter of weeks. But that took place. That was a setback. But look at the number of missiles they were able to buy and make over the last 6 months. And those missiles were aimed at various countries. And when you look at over 1,000 missiles shot at like UAE, they were looking to take over the Middle East. We got there first. We're lucky. I'll tell you what, the Middle East and those countries, very rich countries, are very lucky that I was president instead of somebody else.
Hey, grumpy old man, what's up, buddy? Good to see you.
I don't think so. No, we get along very well on this. He was, I would say, philosophically. a little
Exactly.
different
I agree with
than
that,
me.
Chris.
I think he was maybe less enthusiastic about going, but he
Exactly.
was quite enthusiastic.
You know,
But I felt
it's getting there,
that's
ain't
what
it?
we had to do. I didn't
Time
feel we
to
had a
turn
choice.
that button.
If we didn't do it, they would have done it to us. I felt,
No.
based on the negotiations that were being had by Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner and Marco and Pete and everybody was involved, I felt that they were looking to tap us along before they hit, and I thought they were going to hit. And if they hit us first, that would have been a very bad thing. In the back,
yeah.
please, in the back.
But I don't think their stuff can reach America like from there.
About the straight, you mean? Yeah, well, I want to keep it open. I want to keep it good. You know, it doesn't pertain to us so much as it does to China. We're really helping China here and other countries because they get a lot of their energy from the Straits. But hey, look, we have a good relationship with China. It's my honor to do it. Yeah.
Leader, you have called him an unacceptable choice. So does he have a target on his back? And how can you?
I don't want to say whether or not.
Well,
he
why
does,
would
because
he
that
tell
be
you that?
inappropriate. But hey, look, I had a target on my back because,
Yeah.
as you people wrote pretty well, they caught the assassin.
Some crazy
who was after
shit.
me.
Yeah.
So we just got them first, but they caught the assassin. They have him now in custody. Those after me. So
Yeah.
you know, but people
Y'all
don't
didn't
like
know
to mention
that?
but
Y'all didn't know they called
them,
the
and I'd like to-
assassin? Iran had hired assassin to take out Trump, and they caught him when they started this.
Congratulate our military, Secret Service, FBI, all of the people that worked on that, but they did. Yeah, please. Go ahead. No, go ahead, please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You done
You
asked
promised the
a
Iranian
question,
people
lady.
You would help them, but it sounds like you're willing to end this fight after your military objectives have wrapped up. Isn't that a betrayal of
Will
the
I help
people?
them? I'd like to, if they can behave. They've been very menacing. You know, they're great people. They have an amazing population. It's amazing, smart.
He always says that
brilliant,
about everybody.
energetic. They have a great, I'd love
They're
to help
good
them,
people.
but they have to be in a system that
We're gonna
allows them to be.
bomb the shit out of you.
And right now they're in a system that only allows failure.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. And I want a system that's not going to be attacking us. We want a system that can
Yeah.
lead to many years of peace. And if we can't have that, we might as well get it over with right now. Yeah, please.
Exactly. This is
As a
why I
leader,
like
the-
Trump. Exactly why I said Trump is an alpha male president. He is the president we need. Hey, if you're not going to agree to peace for many, many years, let's just live in peace. Why can't we just trade and be part of the world? If you're not wanting to be part of the world, why don't you just close your country off? Don't trade with anybody else. Don't do anything else. You just live in your country. You don't communicate with nobody outside your country. You don't build warships. You don't build weaponry. You don't need it because we're not going to attack you. If you don't want to be part of the world and all that, fine. You don't have to be an enemy. We're not your enemy. Just live your way and you build and make everything in your own country. But that's not the way the world works. The way the world works is we operate. We have allies. Well, we trade with other countries. We buy, sell, all that stuff. Everything has to be priced and bargained and all this shit. Well, these countries don't want it. They want to be, they want war. They want, they don't want to be part of the world's economics. They don't want to trade with the world. They don't want to do none of that. They want to take over constantly. So if you can't, say, hey, we're going to be peaceful. We're not going to be your enemy. We're just going to be, I'm thankful that Trump is doing it. I am. I'm thankful Trump says, hey, if, why wait another 20 years or 30 years to do it? Why not? Let's just get it over with. Let's just get them out. We need people that either want to work with their country and be peaceful and like these other countries, or, you just board up you wall up your whole country and you live inside your country and you don't communicate with nobody outside your country and you do what you do and that's it. You don't fly out of your country. You don't leave your country. You don't have no planes. You don't do nothing. You don't go anywhere. You don't do nothing. If you don't want to be part of the world, stay to your country. Don't do shit. Feed your people, take care of your people, and that's it. Now, if you want to be part of the world, you want to have airports and fly out and visit other countries and do this and that, then you trade. You be part of the world and you don't be a threat. But Trump's like, that's what Trump wants. He wants peace. So do I. And so do many people. And so do many countries around this world. They're like, why do we always have to be threatened? Why do we always have to be looking over our shoulder? Why does there always have to be a country that doesn't like everybody? You don't like our beliefs, so what? Believe your own thing. Stay to yourself. If you don't like it, guess what? We're going to put you back in the Stone Age. And that's what Trump is doing. He's taking them out because he's had enough of the threats.
8 U.S. military fatalities
Right.
associated
8
with
U.S.
the war in
military
Iraq. How many
fatalities. I
American
thought it was at
soldiers are you willing
7.
to have
It's
in
8.
this war?
Well, as I said before,
What are you willing to have? Like he can just say, okay, I'm willing to have a certain number of deaths. American soldiers die. Man, these reporters are this is why he calls them fake news, because they ask some of the dumbest questions there is. Like, oh, how many people are you willing to sacrifice?
when you have conflicts like this,
When they sign that contract, they know what they're signing
I
up
was at Dover
for.
yesterday. I met the parents.
Like
and
I
they
said,
were
I hate it
unbelievable
for
people.
them, but
They
it's
were
the truth.
unbelievable people, but they all had one thing in common. They said to me one thing, every single one, finish the job, sir. Please
Yeah.
finish the job.
Get it over with.
And I'll leave you at that. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's the way it should be. I mean, truthfully, let's see what Elon Musk says. Save our election. It's common sense. Press the Save America Act. The Save America Act, not the Save Act. It's the Save America Act. Totally different. Here's some videos of. We can't play the music, but we can show you what they're doing. Boom! 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 You think if it would hit those missiles, there would be a bigger explosion, you know? Like, okay, so it hit the missile, but why didn't that missile blow up? Like, seriously, I always wonder that. Like, if it's hitting those missiles, not that, because, you know, that's a truck with probably a missile launcher. Why ain't it blowing up more than that? That, boom, that's a missile it just hit. If it's hitting missiles like that, why are they not bigger explosions? I just don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand sometimes. Like, why is it not? Yeah, we don't want to see her. She's out of a job, thank God. Myron Gaines gets to ask a question.
Reviewed studies. Where can I find these peer-reviewed studies? What's the DOI? Where can I find these peer-reviewed studies?
Yeah, like look it up. Like if we can't even
Sir,
be
there
on
are
common
many
ground,
Okay. This guy's do you guys
Second of
support
all,
this
what
guy?
we
Let
need to
me know if
understand
you support this
in a
guy.
Muslim
Jake
New York
Lang.
City 2 months ago, and we've had the first Muslim terrorist.
We know this
political
guy's like
violence.
big propaganda. He's, make America white. You know what I mean? Like he's bad for this shit. I'm not saying like, I don't know about this guy. I mean, I don't know him. I'm not going to judge him. He was a J6er. I think he's extreme. Also, I don't believe in just making America white. You know what I mean? I don't believe that. I'm not that kind of guy. But this guy is pretty radical, in my opinion. His name's Jake Lang. He's the guy that went to Minnesota, got shit beat out of him, and jumped by all the mob of protesters or rioters. If you know who he is, you support him, that's fine. It's not that I don't support him. I just don't know about him. I think a lot of it is pushing propaganda. He's loud. Sometimes you have to be loud, but to get attention, I get that. Not for just your attention, but, for the cause. Is he really fighting for the cause? I mean, there is pictures of him going to little country over there, tiny hat country, kissing the wall, doing all kinds of things. A lot of people call him un-American. A lot of people say he's American patriot. He was military, I think. He is a J6er. But what's the truth?
It goes beyond political violence. This is religious violence, first and foremost. And second of all, what we need to understand is we voted in a Muslim mayor to New York City
No,
2
I
months ago,
didn't.
and we've had the first Muslim terrorist attack
Y'all
on
may
white
have.
Christians outside the mayor's home. People need to understand there's a correlation here. These things are connected. We are not safe in New York with Zoran Mandami, the Muslim, as our mayor. He is, by
I don't think this guy even lives in New York.
his very ability to be there, he is basically sponsoring and influencing and
I agree. We
telling
don't
these
need
people,
Ma-
go out and
Madani's a
declare jihad.
socialist
By not
Muslim.
condemning it, he's basically saying more jihads against Christians like Jake Lang. And it goes beyond political violence. This is religious violence, first and
I
foremost.
mean, we know this guy right here. Who's this guy? Senator Kelly Graham.
I'm with Israel.
or-
I'll be with Israel to our dying day.
Yeah, we know. Listen to what.
All the anti-Semites, to all the isolationists. I don't believe.
So anybody that doesn't support Israel's
I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel
anti-Semite and all this is a racist and all that shit.
could hope for. So we have a commander in chief in President Trump, who I think is Ronald Reagan.
Well, that took off in a short little capacity, didn't it? Watch. Shoo.
All the isolationists.
Well, we got some nice jets.
Forget it. I'm not with you.
I
I'm
just
with Israel. I will be
see. I'm not with you.
till our
I'm with
dying
Israel.
day.
He says. Huh. I mean, I don't know.
Clips for war propaganda. I mean, it sounds
Gene
like a lot of
Simmons
people are
loves
kinda,
Trump, dude.
criticizing Trump like Hollywood right now. Over
He
this
says-
war thing.
Yeah, Gene Simmons is a-
because everybody in the world should listen to what actors and comedians say,
exactly.
because they're so qualified.
Exactly.
Basically, shut the up. Do your art and shut up. Nobody's interested in your opinions. That includes me, who I vote
See,
for. who I
he even
like.
says it.
Who the do you think you are?
Yeah, who are you to
People in
ask me who I
America work
voted
hard
for?
for
Who
a
are you
living,
ask
and
me
they don't
what I
wanna be
support?
lectured to by people who live
He's
in
honest,
mansions and
man.
drive Rolls
Gene
Royces.
Simmons is one of the most
It's time
honest
for
dudes there
everybody in the
is.
entertainment industry to shut their pie hole and just do your art.
Yeah.
Nobody cares what you think.
'Cause it's-
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
What will Mark Ruffalo, however the he pronounces his
Mark
name?
Ruffalo, yeah.
Look at Ruffalo, Buffalo. What does Mark think about politics?
Yeah.
I don't care.
So you think celebrities should stay out of the politic talk?
Well, we both agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Or go to Kylie Jenner and ask her what she thinks of the war so far.
Yeah. Go take her opinion. Go see what she has to say. Let's see what these hags say.
About we're losing lives, and that's what they're
Oh.
reporting. And
She's
sometimes
saying,
I
"Oh,
think, you
is
know,
this the one she says that Trump should send Barron Trump to war or his kids?"
it ain't all about you.
Here's a compilation of buffoonish clowns saying ridiculous things.
Well, so here's my question. Every president who has had a war going on has always allowed the press to talk about the deaths. They always
Well, they
keep
have.
it front and center. They're always a part of it.
They have.
because
They've asked.
It's not
It's-
just troops. These
Whoopi, it's not Trump's fault. Pete Hicks's fault that the press is not asking about the fallen. It's the reporters. If they're not asking those questions, then they're wanting to ask other questions. Why don't you get on to the reporters or your network, ABC or whatever, or CNN, all these people? Why don't you complain to them that their reporters are not asking about the fallen?
are American people. These
How
are
about that?
American soldiers who gave their
You know?
lives. So this isn't about the president. This is about we're losing lives, and that's what they're reporting. And sometimes I think, it ain't all about you. It ain't all about you. Take this. This is a real thing because.
Well, then tell the
this
reporters
whole
to ask
thing,
the
and
questions
I know
then
a lot of people
about
don't
the
agree,
fallen.
but what's frustrated me more than anything is, usually when
That
there
Trump
a
is
plan,
doing what he
when
wants.
they go out and they know they're going to do something, they're going to bomb.
You guys got
somebody.
Trump derangement
They've
syndrome.
talked to the
Bad.
American embassies to find out how many people are here, so they have some sort of plan to get them out. Is it always smooth? No, but there is some sort of plan to get them out.
Dude, we got
And
some
what- and the
breaking
original-
news right now. Baltimore police, active shooter incident underway right now in Baltimore at Pinckney Road. Pinckney Road. Damn. Whoo-wee. We got some active
the
shooter right now,
original
guys. Active shooter.
response to Americans who were there
Damn.
on vacation, but was you can't come to us to get you out. They have amended it, but this is the American embassy.
Yeah, know what? Shut up, lady. We got some breaking news. Let's see where it's at. Let's see. See if Fox is talking about it. No. That's the guys that were shooting or made the homemade bombs up there at the nope, it's not live right now. Damn, where's it at? Baltimore police, active shooter incident underway. Huh. See, there's going to be more stuff going on, guys. I'm not following Bill Clinton. What the hell are you talking about? Let's see if they're showing anything. No, they're just showing New Mexico authorities conduct search of Zorro Ranch, formerly owned by Epstein. That's that ranch. That's where the bad shit was happening. Yeah. Well, let's see if Newsmax, what they're saying right now. Nothing. They must be at a commercial break. Let's see. This was the guy that was, throwing the homemade IED that he made. A protester shouting about the pros of immigration. Yes, and guess what? They reportedly showed one of their parents' house, and they live in like a $2.5 million home, like wealthy, come from a good place, I guess, and then turn into these people right here, these nutbags. Let's see what Scott Jennings is.
Indefinitely shut down.
Who is Scott Jennings
But does
crushing?
anyone here believe that we should keep the Department of Homeland Security, that's the name of it, indefinitely shut down to try to force ICE policy changes on an agency that's already funded until 2029?
Yeah.
When you acknowledge there are sleeper cells, when we all see radical Islamic terrorists throwing IEDs in New York City, when we saw a radical Muslim terrorist shoot up a bar in Austin,
Yeah.
when we had tornadoes in Oklahoma and Michigan this weekend, when we have TSA lines of 5
Christina
hours in
also gutted
airports,
FEMA.
we
Look, I
have
think- We wanna
all
talk
these
about
things going on.
tornadoes.
Is it
No,
even
I think-
remotely
no,
reasonable?
what I believe.
But does anyone here?
We don't care what you believe, buddy. Quaddy Learning Center. This is the Barack Obama Learning Center. Yeah, when they get done with his when they get done with his thing, when they get done with his presidential place. because it is square like that. That's funny. Yeah. So yeah. Well, I can't see it anywhere. But it's going on right now. Let's see if it's going on right now. Let's see what they're saying over here.
Arriving there at
Let's
the
see.
scene.
Okay,
The camera
yeah.
now on the move, and you see the photographer right there carrying
I can't
the
show it
camera.
of it, guys,
It
but
looks
I'll
right
show
now
it.
pointed
Breaking
to the
news
sky
right
as
now.
they set
Yeah.
up and reestablish this
Active
shot
shooter
as
incident.
this
Yeah.
continues to be a breaking news situation. So as they get situated right there, bringing you back to this social media post from Baltimore police stating that they are on the scene of an active shooter incident in the 6200 block of Park
Suspect
Heights
was
Avenue.
also shot.
They say an
Avoid
officer
the
has
surrounding
been
areas.
shot
More
and
information will be
transported to
provided.
shock trauma.
Yeah. Good.
According,
Okay.
to
All
our
right.
local Fox
Well, I
affiliate,
can't share too much of it. They'll hit me with copyrights and all that shit. That's what they like to do. So, White House briefing coming up. I know we had that, update on the stuff already on the war with Trump and everything. Ain't it funny how everybody just forgot about Bill and Hillary Clinton's interviews? I was showing it. I showed some of it. We're showing it. Us, commentators, reviewers, commentators, whatever you want to call us, channels, YouTube channels, we're showing it. I showed it on a live stream. You can go back and watch it. So yeah, we have been showing the Bill and Hillary Clinton stuff. So, yeah, that's an idiot dude there. Yeah. Mark Ruffalo. This is the one he was talking about. This dude's an idiot. I'll never watch this guy in a movie again. I mean, oh, look what we're doing in the United States. Here's another video I was looking for. Yeah. Boom. There we go. Look at that. That was beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that. Trying to hide them under trees, wasn't he? Man. Yeah, boy. U.S. Central Command right here, guys. Look here. That's just a quick one. I wanted to show that one the other day. I was looking for it. So if you don't know, man, this is a fact check thing they were doing. Yeah. Breaking news. One seriously injured as drone strike. Okay. Homes. The truth. Okay. As a result of that, Iranian, okay, injuries among citizens were reported. One of them seriously, and a number of houses in Ceuta were damaged as a result of an attack by drones. So, so they did have it fact checked. Here's one here's one that looks pretty. Look at this. Boy, let's go back. See, this is what I'm talking about. Where's the explosion, man? I mean, I know we're not sending, big missiles to hit those missiles. We're just blowing them up. But man, you think that, look at that. You think that truck, if it's carrying weaponry or missiles, it would like make a bigger explosion than that, or when we hit certain missiles, you would think that we would be hitting, it would make a bigger, mushroom clouds, Man, that's a beautiful sound. Isn't it? Listen. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I'm here. My daughter unplugged the damn box to the internet. She couldn't get something to work. She had to restart it. I didn't know about it. Sorry. She completely wiped the whole thing out. That's all right. Anyways, we're going to end it there. Anyways, it's been an hour and a half. We did this. We talked about it. We're going to have to go through and cut it anyway. So subscribe to the channel, guys. Follow. Make sure you watch it. Sorry about that. I apologize. We'll see you later on.